Let's talk to Phil Bibby, Executive Member for Highways and Transport at Hertfordshire County Council. Phil, very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike.
I'm assuming, because you're part of Hertfordshire County Council, that you probably were part of the creating force behind this roundabout, are you?
I didn't actually create it. My officers created it and the engineers created it.
Right.
And obviously the idea comes from overseas, Holland, where there's a culture of walking and cycling. And in England and locally, we need to actually make sure we handle growth sustainably. There's lots of houses being built in the country.
Yeah.
11,000 in Hemel Hempstead planned in the next 5 or so years, 5,000 jobs. And if we rely on the car for everyone to get there, Hemel Hempstead will be an absolute gridlock. So we're using this as a way to actually encourage more active travel.
So what sort of jobs are being created then?
Well, this is right near to Maylands, which is the main industrial area in Hemel Hempstead. So I don't know what particular jobs, but obviously with 11,000 homes, there's lots of people living there, and jobs will have to be created as well to actually service those people.
Right. Now, I'm just wondering what the jobs will be, though, what sorts of jobs they'll be, because it might be jobs that people need a vehicle for, perhaps.
Not many jobs will require a vehicle. Obviously, if people need cars, they need cars. But lots of journeys, particularly short journeys, don't need cars. And what we're trying to do nationally and locally is encourage people to use other forms of transport. It's better for congestion, reduces congestion and reduces pollution.
So what's good about this roundabout? I'm just looking at a picture of it. It seems to have quite a lot going on. There's a green circle, there's a grey circle, there's another grey circle around the second green circle. There's pink and white sort of zebra crossings. What's it all about?
Well, effectively, it gives segregated passages for cyclists and pedestrians. They can actually circumnavigate a roundabout having complete priority. So that's the issue. Cyclists and walkers can actually get round roundabouts with priority over vehicles.
Couldn't you do that with traffic lights?
Yes, but the traffic flows will be not as good as will be offered with these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think? When is it going to be ready?
The project ends in June of this year.
And how much does it cost?
I honestly don't know that figure, no, but you're talking well into 6 figures, maybe 7 figures.
Yeah, well, possibly, so over £1 million, very possibly. Did you ask the people of Hemel Hempstead if they wanted it?
We did survey, obviously. We told them what we're doing and asked for their views. This is actually funded by Active Travel England from the government, so we're using their money to actually improve.
Well, it's not actually their money, it's my money.
Yeah,
it's taxpayers' money, do you know what I mean? I mean, the thing about these roundabouts is that whenever they've been introduced anywhere else, they've created an awful lot of confusion because people don't really know which way to go on them. And some people have described them as quite dangerous because cars are kind of stopping more often than they would otherwise do at a roundabout, and most car drivers and even cyclists are a bit confused about who's got rights of way and which way they're supposed to go. Do you know what I mean?
I would agree, Mike, that anything new might confuse people, but once people get used to it, it'll become part of the landscape.
Well, yeah, but it might be quite a few accidents in the meantime before they get used to it.
Well, it's fairly simple to use. Once people understand how to use it, it would work, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but you haven't used it yet, have you?
No.
Have you got a car?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I travel long distances.
Well, you've just said that you want people not to use cars, that they should use more sustainable travel, like cycling.
What I'm saying, Mike, is for short journeys, people don't necessarily need a car. There's lots of times where you do need a car, but for example, when you go down to Sainsbury's or whatever supermarket you choose for your weekly shopping, you're not going to be able to do that by bike or walking. You need a car.
Yeah.
But for certain journeys, you do not need a car. And if we rely on cars to get people everywhere, you must admit that this country is going to come to gridlock. Because
well, it depends on if you had better public transport, I'm sure people would use it. But a lot of places like Hemel Hempstead don't have very good public transport, do they?
That's part of the deal, because I'm a member of the Hemel Garden Communities Board, and we're talking about ways to actually allow the growth in the town to be.
Maybe you should spend the money on buses instead of a funny roundabout.
Do you allow me to finish speed?
No, I can't because we're out of time. Sorry. But thanks very much for trying. Phil Bibby there, who's got a car, doesn't want you to have one. Use your rules. This is Talk.